You need to learn how to train alone properly. This is because in order to reach high football levels, you have to surpass your peers. But do not misunderstand me. Training alone will not completely substitute team training and playing actual football. This is common sense. This video should serve you as a guide to complement your team training and add in your solo individual training to reach your maximum level. Here's the reality. Everyone at your level is doing the same team training as you, same exercises. So if you want to separate yourself from the rest, you need to do what they're not doing. And most players have no clue how to train alone effectively. Otherwise, they wouldn't be playing low-level football. Real solo training is about targeting your specific weaknesses, developing skills that team training doesn't cover, and building the kind of individual brilliance that makes scouts notice you. The legends, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, they all spent countless hours training alone because they had something most players miss: your relationship with the ball. And this is the first point of the video. Just try to think outside the box for a moment. If you want to succeed at school, most people would say, just study more. But if you think deeper, you'll see there's an easier strategy. Build a good relationship with your teacher. And I know you might say this sounds manipulative, but when you're on good terms with your teachers, the image they have of you is boosted. Your studying feels more effortless because they're actually invested in helping you succeed. You see, a lot of you are training with friends, building relationships with coaches, which is very beneficial. But you're missing the most important relationship of all, your relationship with the ball. You can spot it immediately. Someone with good terms with the ball versus someone with no relationship with the ball at all. And this is something I've seen so many players nowadays lacking. Just think about Ronaldo Nazario. He had the ball like it was glued to his feet, and so many times the ball would deflect off defenders, hit his body, bounce unpredictably, but he always won the rebounds because he spent his childhood building a real connection with the ball. He saw billions and billions of patterns. When a rebound happened, or something that for most people would be completely unexpected, he instinctively placed his foot in exactly the right place to keep possession. Same with Messi, same with Maradona. They didn't just know how to control the ball when everything went according to plan. They knew how the ball behaved in chaos. They understood its physics, its rhythm, its personality. This is exactly what it means to have a relationship with the ball. That's exactly the difference between playing with the ball and truly understanding it. So let's see how to actually learn the ball language and have conversations with it. If you've ever seen or heard of elite footballers' training routines as kids, you'll discover the truth. They had no specific training routine. They just needed a ball and a wall. That's it. No need for cones, no structured sessions, just the purest form of football. You were the ball, a wall, and a surface to play off. Juggling is where this relationship begins. And I'm not talking about juggling to impress your friends or to hit some arbitrary number. I'm talking about juggling to understand how the ball responds to every part of your body. When you juggle properly, you're learning the ball's weight, its bounce patterns, how it reacts to different surfaces of your foot, your thigh, your chest, your head. Each touch teaches you something new about the ball's physics. There's this famous clip of Maradona as a child juggling with every part of his body. And you can see the reel flowing with the ball, letting it teach him its rhythm. Then after you get better, you pass to wall juggling. This is how legends were made. Unlike regular juggling, where you control everything, the wall adds an element of unpredictability. The ball comes back at different angles, different speeds, different spins. You have to adapt constantly. The angle it comes back tells you about your touch. The speed tells you about your power. The spin tells you about your contact point. You start to understand the ball's language through these endless exchanges. The language of the ball is pure flow. And to speak this language fluently, you have to reach that state where everything else ceases to exist except you and the ball. In this state, the ball becomes an extension of your body. Its movement becomes as natural as breathing. You stop thinking about controlling it and start simply breathing, being with it. This is what Maradona found as a child against that wall. This is what Messi discovered in those countless hours in his backyard. Now we have to train our footwork, and footwork in football is completely different from any other sport. In basketball, you're working on lateral movement and pivoting. In tennis, it's about court positioning. But in football, you have to train footwork in a way that makes you faster while controlling the ball. That's the key difference. Your feet need to be quick, precise, and coordinated, all while maintaining perfect ball control with intention. There are two main types of footwork training. First is ball mastery. So I always hated doing those ball mastery drills. They're static, repetitive, and not entertaining at all until I discovered F-Pro. F-Pro completely changed how I approach ball mastery. They provide you with this numbered training mat and a personalized app that syncs everything together. The app gives you hundreds of guided video exercises. It's basically a complete football training system built around progressive skill development. What makes it different is the structure. Instead of random drills, you get a 7-level program that forces you to master each stage before moving on. The exercises are created by elite coaches and former professionals, and the system is used by thousands of players from top academies around the world. The app tracks everything: your progress, your weak areas, even lets you compete with other players globally. But here's what I love most. It makes ball mastery actually fun. The drills are challenging, the progression is addictive, and you can see your improvement in real time. If you're someone who always says, "I want to improve, but I don't have space and don't know how to train effectively," this is literally built for you. One mat, a small space, in your phone. So if you're serious about taking your ball control to the next level, check out F-Pro using the link in my description. And if you decide to get one, use my code FP20 to get a 20% discount on your order. Now, the second type of footwork training is ball carrying. Ball carrying is the art of traveling with the ball at variable speeds while maintaining perfect positioning. Think of it like driving a car. You need to know how to cruise, accelerate, brake, and change lanes, all while staying in control. The fundamental principle is distance management. The ball needs to be in what I call the sweet spot, close enough that no defender can steal it, but far enough that you can explode into any direction without having to adjust your stride. Watch how any good player carries the ball up the pitch. He's constantly changing the rhythm. 3 quick touches, then a longer push, then back to quick touches. This disrupts the defender's ability to time their tackle. The technique is deceptively simple. You're essentially having a conversation with the ball through your feet. Light touches when you need to keep it close. Firmer pushes when you want to accelerate. And the key is using different parts of your foot for different purposes. Your instep gives you the most control. Use it when you're under pressure or need to change direction quickly. The outside of your foot is for acceleration and creating angles that defenders can't read. And pushing with your laces for pure speed when you've identified space and you need to attack it immediately. But most coaches won't tell you ball carrying is also about your eyes. The moment you master keeping your head up while carrying, you become dangerous. You start seeing gaps before they fully open. You spot defenders committing before they realize they've committed. You become predictive instead of reactive. This is why players like Busquets are so impossible to dispossess, because he's reading the entire field while doing it. He knows where the pressure is coming from before it arrives. The training is straightforward but requires patience. Start with straight lines, focusing on consistent touch patterns, then add direction changes, then speed changes. Finally, add decision-making. Carry the ball while scanning for imaginary teammates and defenders. Master this, and you'll never be caught in possession again. You'll always have an escape route because you're seeing the whole picture. Now for the last part, and this is going to be pretty long because we need to cover everything. We're talking about abilities, and there are 3 main categories you need to develop. Technical abilities, dribbling, shooting, passing, first touch, athletic abilities, speed, strength, power, endurance, agility, and intelligence. And this is actually training. Don't think that training is only moving around with a ball. First, we have dribbling. This comes back to instinct training. You need first the 3-step mastery. Choose a skill, do it slowly, then add movement, then do it in futsal. Then we have shadow dribbling. This means practicing moves without any defenders. You actually imagine defenders. You're rehearsing the movements until they become muscle memory while imagining defenders actually attacking you. Think of it like a shadow boxing practice. Next, combo flow. This is a training technique to activate flow state, simulating a real match scenario. Start by juggling, then kick up high and control it, imagining a defender, so you have to control it with intent. Then do a skill and shoot. That's how you develop actual dribbling ability that works in games. For shooting, just practice shooting. There's no secret formula here. Work on your technique. Plant foot placement, body position over the ball, follow through. Shoot from different angles, different distances with both feet. Volume and repetition beat complicated theories every time. For passing, There are two main methods. Wall passing, using a wall to practice different weights, angles, and speeds of passes. The wall gives you consistent returns to work with. Then we have partner passing, working with another player on different styles like short passes, long balls, through balls. The wall never gets tired and a partner gives you realistic movement. For first touch, we have juggling, keeping the ball in the air, using any part of your body except hands. Master every surface, feet, thighs, chest, head. Use different size balls too. A tennis ball forces precision because it's harder to control. A size 5 football builds confidence. Wall juggling adds unpredictability. Now let's talk about athletic abilities. Athletic ability is heavily influenced by genetics and how you develop during childhood and teenage years. But there are evidence-based things you can do to optimize what you have. First, sleep optimization. And of course, we need to talk about your circadian rhythm. It's your body's internal 24-hour clock that controls hormone release, body temperature, and recovery. Getting sunlight in your eyes early in the morning helps set this clock. Avoiding blue light from screens after sunset prevents disruption of melatonin production, which is crucial for deep sleep and growth hormone release. Next, very important, nutrition for development. Focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Quality protein sources like meat, fish, and dairy provide complete amino acid profiles needed for muscle development. Load more carbohydrates on days when you have high-intensity training to fuel performance and help with recovery. Lastly, improve your natural movement patterns. Playing barefoot develops the small muscles in your feet and improves proprioception, which is your body's ability to sense its position in space. Sprinting to build power, speed, and boost testosterone. Walking many steps daily provides low-intensity, aerobic base and active recovery. The key is working with your body's natural systems rather than against them. You'll improve athleticism without chronically elevating stress hormones through excessive endurance training or overtraining. Now the last ability is your intelligence. The only real way to develop football intelligence is watching games as a student, not just for entertainment. This means active analysis, studying how players position themselves before receiving the ball, how they scan the field, the timing of their runs, the angles they create. You're learning to recognize patterns in the game. The more situations you've seen before, the faster you'll recognize them and know what to do when they happen in your own games. Football intelligence can't be trained with cones. It comes from understanding the game at a deeper level through focused observation and mental training. Remember, developing as a player is about becoming a complete athlete with both physical skills and football understanding. All three areas need attention if you want to reach your potential. Look, I need to be real with you for a moment. Most players will watch this video, nod along, maybe even feel inspired for a few days. But then life happens. School gets busy, friends want to hang out, the motivation fades. But you're different. You wouldn't have made it this far through a video about serious training if you weren't. So trust the process, trust yourself. The work you put in alone today is the confidence you'll carry into games tomorrow. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now. Don't let them down. Remember to join our Discord community and download our free ebooks. Hit the protocol and take action.